Hello, how you people doing today? This your boy D coming at you guys again with another topic. And today's topic is going to be about, the end of false prophets. The end of false prophets, and we can determine whether they are false or not by the end of their works, We can determine are they false or not by the end of their works, And I know you guys seeing all these preachers and reverends today killing themselves. And I know you guys wondering why they are killing themselves, if they are Christ. If they are representatives of Christ and God. I know you guys wondering why are they killing themselves. Because we all know that suicide and killing people and killing yourself, period, is not a God. And we all notice that killing yourself and killing people is not a God. God said, thou shalt not kill. Okay? And many of you people are wondering, why are these pastors killing themselves, And I'm going to break it down in a minute. But I'm doing this clip because, I just been hearing about these preachers killing themselves. It's been on the news and so not and whatnot, And, the first time I heard about it, opened up my eyes and I started hearing about more, Preacher killed himself. I forgot what state it was. He's supposed to start the church, but he never made it to the church to start it. He told his family to go ahead. He'll be there later. And so when it was time for church to start, he never was there. So they got worried and went to go check on him. They found out he was dead. He blew his brains out and killed himself, And I know you guys wondering, if these people are mans and teachers, to follow and look up to a Christ, why are they killing themselves, And, I'm going to point it out. I'm about to start with scripture. Go with me to 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13 through 15. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13 through 15. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for Satan himself transformed himself into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also transform themselves into ministers of righteousness, whose end will be according to their works. Repeat, whose ends will be according to their works. So what are they saying? We all know that people that, that's doing their best to walk with God, it's not within our power to kill ourselves. That's not for us to do. You see what I'm saying? God have a will for us to serve on life. No matter how things get hard for you, you have to let your purpose be served. You have to die naturally. You have to die naturally. You is not allowed to take your life living for Christ and God. You is not to allowed to take your life living for Christ and God. It's not natural. It's demonic. Only people kill themselves is spirits of the error. You see, spirits of the error. Satan was a killer. Satan was a liar. You see what I'm saying? Satan is the author of confusion and killing. You know what I'm saying? Satan want us all dead right now. You see what I'm saying? Because he don't want us blessed from God, because he was once blessed with God. He don't want us to see the blessings and get our blessings from our Father. You see? And so this was very disturbing to me. A preacher killed himself today in Chicago, and this is very terrifying, disturbing, because people are wondering, if this guy is God, like a disciple, leading people, praying for people and stuff, and then he just turn around and kill himself, it makes some people start thinking, if you ain't worried and thinking about it, something is wrong with you. If you attended this man's church, if you ain't thinking about what just happened, something is wrong with you. The guy said, he heard his deceased wife talking to him. He said he heard his deceased wife talking to him. And so he killed himself in front of his kids, pulled that trigger in front of his kids to be with his wife. This is not a God, people. Wake up, You see, first you got to look at it. He killed himself to be with his wife. He didn't kill himself to be with God. He didn't kill himself to be with God. He killed himself to be with his wife. He killed himself to be with his wife. He didn't kill himself to be with God, people. And we all know that God is not the author of confusion. The devil is the author of confusion, and he's a killer and a murderer. And see, This was not godly, to take your own life. God, people that was walking with God, they did not take their own life. Paul did not take his own life. Daniel did not take his own life. Elijah did not take his own life. They endured to the end, people. They endured to the end. They didn't take their own life. They endured to the end. Moses didn't take his own life. Life was hard for all these prophets back in the days. But the true followers of Christ, they endured to the end. Unfortunately, it was some preachers, it was some prophets that didn't endure to the end. Like Samson, Solomon. You see, these were prophets that got deceived. And we must remember as Christ followers, people to endure to the end, to go all the way in the walk. These preachers are not going all the way in their walk with the Lord. You see what I'm saying? That's why this is going on. They are taking their own very own lives. You see, this is a problem because we must remember, God say that whose end would be according to their works. You will understand who's a false prophet and who's not. It's according to their work. God said, thou shalt not kill. Why are these preachers murdering themselves today? Why are them preachers murdering themselves today? They are going clean in because they're not doing the real work of God. They're not going all the way with God. If they able to get frustrated and messed up with life and just decide to take their life, they're not walking with God. I'm sorry to say, people, God told us to endure to the end. These prophets that made it, Elijah, Moses, Peter, Daniel, they endured to the end. They went all the way with Christ, people. They didn't just give up and lose their love for God like Solomon. They ain't lose their love for God like Solomon and forget about God like Samson because of a women. You see what I'm saying, people? Is you getting the message? You must endure to the end. You see these preachers that are killing themselves, some of them definitely are not a God. And I'm going to read this verse again. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14 through 15. And no wonder, for Satan himself transformed himself into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also transform themselves into ministers of righteousness, whose end would be according to their works. Whose end would be according to their works. So you telling me it's normal for preachers to kill themselves? No, it's not. That is straight death. Like, man, God said no one can take their life. No one can take anyone else's lives. So, these preachers and reverends and stuff dying, pulling that trigger, blowing their brains out in front of their family. Pulling that trigger, blowing their brains out in front of their family. That is not godly. You see what I'm saying, people? No matter how life get hard, we must endure to the end. We must go all the way, people, like Elijah and Elisha. We must go all the way, people. Man, this is some powerful stuff, man. This is not right. Preachers killing themselves, That is not a God, you see. And God told you that their end would be according to their works. Their end would be according to their works, you see. Killing yourself, God doesn't tell people to kill themselves. That's the case. Everybody that's walking with God, even born again Christians, they can start pulling that trigger on their brains themselves and they can see Christ. No, it's not that easy, people. Satan wants you to kill yourself. These preachers are being deceived by Satan, pulling these triggers. You see, Satan was a murderer. Satan was a killer, a liar, a backstabber, a backbiter, people. Wake up, And these preachers that's pulling that trigger, man, they are not walking with God. Here's the scripture, man. You guys can go to 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13 through 15. See it for yourself. It say, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for Satan himself transformed himself into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also transform themselves into ministers of righteousness, whose end will be according to their works. Whose end would be according to their works. So, that these preachers that's killing themselves, their last work was pulling that trigger, people. Their last work was pulling that trigger and killing themselves, you see. That is not a God. So, man, I'm just pointing this out to you people, man. These preachers killing themselves. It's not normal. They're not walking with God. Half of them that's pulling them triggers. I'm just reaching out on D, man. You got to be safe out there, man. Do what's right.